Hello everyone, welcome to SM EduDesk channel. This is Srinivas Murthyal. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. Today we have discussed about the importance of microeconomics. Before that, we know about the meaning of microeconomics. Microeconomics and macroeconomics are the two approaches to economic problems and analysis. The former relates to the study of individual economic units, while the latter is a study of the economy as a whole. Professor Ragnar Fish was the first to use the terms micro and macro in economics in 1920. He is also first Nobel laureate in 1969. Ragnar Fish and John Timbergen jointly received that award. Okay, microeconomics is the study of the economic actions of individuals and small groups of individuals. According to Professor Boulding, the study of particular firms, particular households, individual prices, wages, incomes, individual industries, particular commodities. It concerns itself with the analysis of price determination and the allocation of resources to specific uses. The determination of equilibrium output of the firm or industry, the wage of a particular type of labor, the price of a particular commodity like rice, tea or a car are some of the fields of microeconomic theory. In the words of Professor Gardner Ackley, microeconomics deals with the division of total output among industries, products and firms, and the allocation of resources among competing groups. It considers problems of income distribution. Its interest is in relative prices of particular goods and services. Microeconomics is, in fact, a microscopic study of the economy. According to Maurice Dobb, it is like looking at the economy through microscope to find out the working of markets for individual commodities and the behavior of individual consumers and producers. In other words, in microeconomics, we study the interrelationship of individual households and individual firms, and individual firms and individual industries to each other. In this sense, microeconomics involves the study of aggregates, as clarified by Professor Ackley. The concept of industry, for example, aggregates numerous firms or even products. Consumer demand for shoes is an aggregate of the demands of many households, and the supply of shoes is an aggregate of the production of many firms. The demand and supply of labor in a locality or an industries are clearly aggregate concepts. But the study of aggregates in microeconomics is different from that in macroeconomics. In macroeconomics, the uses of aggregates are related to the economy wide total, while in microeconomics they are not related to the economy but to the aggregate of individual households, firms and industries. Okay, importance of microeconomics, significance of microeconomics. Microeconomics is an important method of economic analysis which Keynes regarded as a necessary part of one's apparatus of thought. It has both theoretical and practical importance. Okay, we know about the importance or significance of microeconomics one by one. Firstly, to understand the working of the economy. Microeconomics is of utmost importance in understanding the working of a free enterprise economy. In such an economy, there is no agency to plan and coordinate the working of the economic system. Such decisions as how to produce, what to produce, and for whom to produce, how to distribute, and what to consume are taken by producers and consumers without any extraneous force. It follows that the planning authority in a centrally planned economy cannot ensure an efficient working of the economy in the absence of a free enterprise economy. As pointed out by Professor Lerner, microeconomics teaches us that completely direct running of the economy is impossible. That a modern economy is so complex that no central planning body can obtain all the information and give out all the directive necessary for its efficient operation. Okay. Secondly, to provide tools for economic policies. Microeconomics provides the analytical tools for evaluating the economic policies of the state. Prices or market mechanism is the tool which helps us in this respect. In a mixed economy, the state runs certain public utilities like the postal services, railways, water, electricity. In such cases, the government, center, state or local fix prices on a no profit, no loss basis. These prices in turn influence the prices of the other goods and services. There are also public enterprises which are run on price profit policy. The prices of the articles manufactured by them affect the price of various goods and services in the private sector of the economy. Some of the public enterprises compete with private enterprises, so their price policies are based on the market mechanism. They cannot charge prices higher than under the private sector. Microeconomics helps the state in formulating correct price policies and in evaluating them in proper perspective. Okay, third one. Helpful in the efficient employment of resources. It is very important. Helpful in the efficient employment of resources. Microeconomics deals with the economizing of scarce resources with efficiency. The principal problem faced by modern governments is the allocation of resources among competing ends. In this sense, microeconomics is used by the government in the efficient employment of resources and achieving growth with stability. Okay, next fourth one. Help to business executive. Help to business executive. Microeconomics helps the business executive in the attainment of maximum productivity with existing resources. It is with its helps that he is able to know the consumer demand and calculate the cost of this product. Somehow demand forecasting. Okay, next fifth one. Helpful in understanding the problems of taxation. Microeconomics also helps in understanding some of the problems of taxation. It is used to explain the welfare implications of a tax. A tax leads to the reallocation of resources from their optimal level. Microeconomics helps in explaining as to whether an income tax leads to a diminution of social welfare or an excise duty or sales tax. It is the imposition of an excise duty or sales tax that leads to the diminution of social welfare rather than an income tax. Microeconomic analysis also studies the distribution of incidence of a commodity tax between sellers and consumers. Sixth one, helpful in international trade. In the field of international trade, it is used to explain the gains from international trade, balance of payments disequilibrium, and the determination of the foreign exchange rate. It is the relative elasticities of demand for each other's products that determine the gains from international trade. The disequilibrium in the balance of payments is the inequality between the demand and supply of foreign currency. The rate of exchange of currency in a free market is determined by the demand for the and supply of foreign exchange. Okay, then seventh one, to examine the conditions of economic welfare. It is also most very important point. Microeconomics can be used to examine the conditions of economic welfare. According to R.A. Bilas, that is to examine the subjective satisfactions that individuals derive from consuming goods and services and from enjoying leisure. It involves the study of welfare economics, which is one of determining an ideal economy. He has already studied above. Welfare economics is related to maximization of social welfare. This is possible only under perfect competition. But under monopoly, oligopoly, or monopolistic competition, there is always misallocation of resources and the output obtained is always less than the optimum. Thus, there is considerable wastage of resources. Microeconomics helps in suggesting ways and means of eliminating wastages in order to bring maximum social welfare. Okay, next, 8th, the basis for prediction. The basis for prediction. According to Bilas, microeconomic theory can be used as the basis for prediction. This does not mean that it will enable us to predict the future. Rather, it will enable the processor to make conditional predictions. Conditional predictions. These conditions have the following form. If something occurs, then a certain set of results will follow. That is the prediction. We should be able to study government policies affecting prices of commodities and wages, for example, and see how these policies affect the allocation of resources. Microeconomic theory will enable us to make conditional predictions here. That's all. Okay, 9th one, constructions and uses of models. Microeconomics constructs and uses simple models for the understanding of the actual economic phenomena. In an attempt to see how prices are established and how resources are allocated to various uses. Professor Lerner explains this point more clearly when he says, microeconomic theory facilitates the understanding of what would be a hopelessly complicated confusion of billions of facts by constructing simplified models of behavior which are sufficiently similar to the actual phenomena to be of help in understanding them. These models at the same time enable the economists to explain the degree to which the actual phenomena depart from certain ideal constructions that would most completely achieve individual and social objectives. They thus help not only to describe the actual economic situation, but to suggest policies that would most successfully and most efficiently bring about desired results, and to predict the outcomes of such policies and other events. Thus, it is an elegant method of problem solving according to Hackley. These are all significance of microeconomic studies. Okay, we know about the limitations of microeconomics also. Limitations of microeconomics. Despite its uses, microeconomic analysis is not free from certain limitations. Firstly, it is based on the unrealistic assumptions of full employment in the economy. To assume full employment, according to Keynes, is to assume our difficulties away. Full employment is not the rule but an exception in the real world. Thus, microeconomics is an unrealistic method of economic analysis. Okay, second one. Again, microeconomics is based on the assumptions of laissez-faire. But the policy of laissez-faire is no longer practiced. It ended with the Great Depression of the 1930s. This makes the study unrealistic. Nowadays, state intervention in the economy is necessity. Okay, third one. Microeconomics is concerned with the study of parts of neglects the whole as pointed out by Boulding. Description of a large and complex universe of facts like the economic system is impossible in terms of individual items. Thus, a study of microeconomics presents an imprecise picture of the economy. Next, fourth one. Further, microeconomics is not only inadequate but also misleading in analyzing several economic problems. It is not essential that principles which are true in the case of particular household, firm or industry may also be correctly applicable to the economy as a whole. To quote Boulding again, the character and behavior of aggregates cannot be obtained simply by generalizing from character and behavior of individual components. Thank you all. Once again, I will request you, please subscribe my channel SM EduDesk and press the bell icon. Thank you all.